Title: The Importance and Controversies Surrounding the Exodus Story of Moses Leading the Israelites Out of Egypt. The story of the Exodus, which describes Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, is one of the most significant narratives in the Bible. The account, which is found in the book of Exodus, has been a subject of great interest and controversy among scholars and religious communities for centuries. This essay will examine the importance of the Exodus story, the controversies surrounding it, and its relevance to modern times. The importance of the Exodus story. The story of the Exodus is important for several reasons. First, it is a significant event in the history of the Israelites. The account describes the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt, the receiving of the Ten Commandments, and the establishment of a covenant with God. The story also provides a foundation for the development of Jewish law, culture, and traditions. For Jews, the Exodus represents the central event in their history, and it is commemorated annually during the Passover festival. Second, the Exodus story is important because it illustrates the power of God. The story describes how God delivered the Israelites from their oppressors, performed miracles, and guided them through the wilderness. The Exodus account shows that God is a protector of the oppressed and the weak, and that He is capable of intervening in human history. Finally, the Exodus story is significant because it has influenced many other religions and cultures. The story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt has been retold and adapted in different ways by Christians, Muslims, and other groups. The Exodus narrative has been a source of inspiration for liberation movements and has served as a symbol of hope for oppressed peoples. Controversies surrounding the Exodus story. Despite the importance of the Exodus story, there are several controversies surrounding it. The first controversy concerns the historicity of the account. Some scholars argue that the story of the Exodus is a myth or a legend and that it has little basis in historical fact. They point out that there is little archaeological evidence to support the claim that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt or that they left Egypt in a mass migration. They also note that the chronology of the Exodus account is uncertain and that the events described in the story are difficult to reconcile with known historical facts. Another controversy surrounding the Exodus story concerns the identity of the Pharaoh who ruled Egypt at the time of Moses. The Exodus account refers to the Pharaoh as a powerful ruler who was afflicted with 10 plagues before letting the Israelites go. However, historians have not been able to identify which Pharaoh this was, as there is no clear historical record of such a ruler. A third controversy concerns the route taken by the Israelites after leaving Egypt. The Exodus account describes the Israelites crossing the Red Sea, wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and eventually reaching the Promised Land. However, there is debate among scholars about the location of the Red Sea crossing and the route taken by the Israelites in the wilderness. Relevance to modern times. Despite the controversies surrounding the Exodus story, it remains relevant to modern times. First, the story of the Exodus can inspire hope and resilience among people who are struggling for freedom and justice. The account of Moses leading the Israelites out of slavery can serve as a source of motivation for individuals and communities who are facing oppression and injustice. Second, the Exodus story can provide a framework for ethical and moral behavior. The Ten Commandments, which were given to the Israelites during their journey, provide a set of guidelines for living a just and virtuous life. The Exodus narrative can also serve as a reminder of the importance of treating others with compassion, respect, and fairness. Finally, the Exodus story can promote interfaith dialogue and understanding. The story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt has inspired people of different faiths and backgrounds, and it can serve as a bridge between different cultures and traditions. In addition to the relevance of the Exodus story for modern times, recent research has shed new light on the historicity of the account. While some scholars still argue that the Exodus is a myth or a legend, others have pointed to new evidence that supports the idea that the Israelites were indeed in Egypt and that they left in a mass migration. For example, recent archaeological findings have uncovered the remains of a large settlement in the eastern Nile Delta that may have been occupied by the Israelites. Other evidence, such as inscriptions and documents from ancient Egypt, have also been cited as supporting the historicity of the Exodus account. Another area of research that has shed new light on the Exodus story is the study of ancient Near Eastern culture and society. Scholars have compared the Exodus narrative to other ancient texts and traditions, and have identified similarities and differences. For example, the story of Moses in the bulrushes has been compared to the Sargon legend, an ancient Babylonian story about a baby who is abandoned in a river and later becomes a great ruler. The Ten Commandments have also been compared to other ancient legal codes, such as the Code of Hammurabi, which was used in ancient Babylon. The study of the Exodus story has also been influenced by contemporary issues and debates. For example, the account of the Israelites' journey out of Egypt has been used as a metaphor for contemporary issues such as the struggle for civil rights, the fight against oppression and inequality, and the quest for freedom and self-determination. The Exodus story has been invoked by social and political movements, such as the American Civil Rights Movement, the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, and the struggle for Palestinian independence. The Exodus story has also been the subject of debate and interpretation within religious communities. Different religious traditions have placed different emphasis on different aspects of the Exodus account. For example, in Judaism, the focus is on the liberation from slavery, the receiving of the Ten Commandments, and the establishment of the covenant with God. In Christianity, the emphasis is on the role of Jesus as a new Moses, who delivers his followers from the bondage of sin and death. In Islam, the story of Moses is seen as a confirmation of the message of the Prophet Muhammad, and the Exodus narrative is interpreted as a symbol of the struggle against oppression and injustice. In conclusion, the story of the Exodus, which describes Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, is one of the most important and contested narratives in the Bible. The story is significant for its historical, religious, and cultural importance, and it has been a subject of interest and controversy for centuries. While the historicity of the account is still debated, recent research and scholarship have shed new light on the story, and the Exodus narrative remains relevant to modern times. The story can inspire hope and resilience, provide a framework for ethical and moral behavior, and promote interfaith dialogue and understanding. The story of the Exodus has had a significant impact on the development of Christianity and its various revivals throughout history. The narrative of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt has been interpreted in many ways by Christians, and has been used as a source of inspiration and guidance for religious and political movements. In this essay, we will explore the impact of the Exodus story on the New Christian Revival and its relevance for contemporary Christians. The New Christian Revival is a movement that has emerged in recent decades, characterized by a focus on personal spirituality, social justice, and cultural relevance. The movement draws on diverse sources of inspiration, from the Bible to contemporary culture, and seeks to create a new expression of Christian faith that is relevant to the needs and aspirations of modern people. The Exodus story has been an important source of inspiration for many Christians involved in the new revival, and has provided a framework for their understanding of God, humanity, and the world. One of the key ways in which the Exodus story has influenced the new Christian revival is through its emphasis on social justice and liberation. The story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt has been seen as a powerful metaphor for the struggle against oppression, injustice, and inequality. For many Christians involved in the new revival, the Exodus story is a call to action, a reminder that God stands with the oppressed and the marginalized, and that Christians have a responsibility to fight for justice and dignity for all people. This has led to a renewed emphasis on issues such as poverty, racism, sexism, and environmental degradation, and a commitment to work for social transformation in the name of God. The Exodus story has also influenced the new Christian revival through its emphasis on personal spirituality and transformation. The story of Moses and the Israelites in the wilderness has been seen as a metaphor for the journey of faith, the struggles and challenges that people face as they seek to follow God. For many Christians involved in the new revival, the Exodus story is a reminder that faith is a journey, not a destination, and that the goal of the Christian life is not simply to avoid sin, but to become more like Christ. This has led to a renewed emphasis on practices such as prayer, meditation, and spiritual disciplines, and a commitment to cultivating a deeper, more intimate relationship with God. The Exodus story has also influenced the new Christian revival through its emphasis on community and mission. The story of Moses and the Israelites in the wilderness has been seen as a metaphor for the life of the Christian community, the challenges and opportunities that arise as believers seek to live out their faith in the world. For many Christians involved in the new revival, the Exodus story is a reminder that faith is not just a personal matter, but a communal one, and that Christians are called to live in community with one another and to work together for the sake of the gospel. This has led to a renewed emphasis on practices such as hospitality, service, and evangelism, and a commitment to reaching out to those who are outside of the church. The impact of the Exodus story on the new Christian revival can also be seen in the way that Christians are engaging with contemporary culture. The Exodus story has been used as a source of inspiration for Christians who are seeking to engage with contemporary issues such as politics, the arts, and popular culture. For many Christians involved in the new revival, the Exodus story is a reminder that God is present in all aspects of life, and that Christians have a responsibility to engage with culture in a way that is faithful, creative, and transformative. This has led to a renewed emphasis on practices such as cultural engagement, contextualization, and dialogue, and a commitment to creating new forms of Christian expression that are relevant to the needs and aspirations of modern people.